think back to 1961. President Kennedy stands up and basically asks this huge yet simple why question. Why doesn't the U.S. commit to landing a man on the moon and bringing him back safe before the decade's out? I mean, that one little why wasn't just asking something, was it? It kicked off this massive mission. And that's really what we're diving into today, how these simple words, these question words are like, well, they're keys, right? Keys to unlock information, transform how we talk to each other. We're drawing on some great insights from RuiEnglish here.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how one focused question can just, galvanize a whole nation. And that's our mission today, really. We want to explore the power, the strategic power of asking the right questions. And just as vital, how we explain cause and effect effectively, because getting that right leads to clearer, much more impactful communication in, well, pretty much every part of life.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that. RuiEnglish makes this point really clearly, these we questions, what, when, where, how, why. They're not just grammar. They're more like scaffolding for conversation. They let us build up a picture, connect ideas.
Right. Unlike a simple yes-no question, which can sometimes just stop a conversation cold.
Exactly. These words dig deeper. They help us zero in on the details that actually matter for understanding, for learning. And it's a whole family of words, isn't it? Not just the main five. You've got whom, whose, and then all those how variations, how far, how many, how long. Essential tools for discovery.
And if you think about it in your own experience, getting good with these words, it doesn't just make you sound better, it actually makes you an active learner, a much more effective communicator, because you enable these richer interactions. You get past the surface stuff.
Like that example from RuiEnglish with Mark and Lisa in the coffee shop.
Yeah, exactly. Lisa meets Sarah, this new photographer, and by consciously using who, where, what, whose, how much, how long, how far, she wasn't just making small talk, she was actually building a whole story about Sarah, creating a real connection. It's active discovery using language.
Okay, so that's the asking part. But there's another side to this, isn't there? Explaining why things happen. The source material points out these two connectors we use all the time, which is why, and that's why. They seem kind of similar, but there are subtle differences. Important ones.
That's a really good point. And the question becomes, when do you use which one? That's why it tends to be more conversational, wouldn't you say? More direct. It usually points back to the whole idea you just mentioned. And often it can span as its own little sentence, its own thought.
Okay, so like, I didn't sleep well, that's why I'm exhausted. Something like that.
Precisely. Direct cause and effect. Boom. Now, which is why is... well, it feels a bit more formal, maybe more structured. It links back too, but it often introduces extra information, sort of like a side note, but a causal one. It's grammatically dependent, part of the same sentence.
Right. So an example might be, the team missed its sales targets, which is why the manager was let go.
Exactly. See how the reason is woven into the sentence? It adds detail, context, but maybe feels a bit less punchy. Then that's why.
So it's about tone. And also about how the sentence flows grammatically.
It is. And for someone who wants to communicate really precisely, understanding that difference isn't just about being correct. It's about controlling the impact of your message.
Okay, so bringing this all together, what are the key takeaways for us? We've looked at how question words are fundamental, right? They unlock information, build conversations. And then we've nailed down the difference between which is why and that's why for explaining cause and effect clearly.
Exactly. And for you listening, the practical value is huge. Really thinking about these tools, using them consciously. It makes a real difference in how effectively you communicate, how deeply you learn. And, RuiEnglish, who provided today's insights, also runs the English Cafe Talk Time International group, which is a great place actually to practice these very skills in real conversation.
Oh, that's a fantastic resource. Definitely worth checking out. So here's something to think about as you go through your day. How could consciously choosing these simple words, the right question word, the right connector, how could that not just make you understood better, but actually change how you learn, how you connect, and maybe even how you navigate the world?